Good morning, everybody. Today I'm with Scott Anderson with Agri-Best Feeds.
Morning.
And I wanted to know a little bit about the program of Redmond products for the soil, so I'm here to ask Scott some questions, and he's going to explain it to us and tell us exactly how it all works. So, good morning, Scott.
Good morning. Yeah, it's a very important topic, especially with the price of fertilizer. Guys are pretty interested in some potential other options or additional options to help maximize their profits, and what we're all about at Agri-Best is enhancing farmer and ranchers' lives with uniquely better products, and how can we come alongside and support them. So this is a great topic this morning.
So with Agri-Best, how did this all come about? I know that you guys had it for nutritional programs, but how did the whole soil program come together for you guys?
Well, it kind of goes back. There's some interesting history to that, Joe. Starting out, as you know, Agri-Best Feeds, Sweet Pro actually came, and this is kind of off topic, but on topic.
Right.
Sweet Pro came to talk to my father-in-law about marketing Sweet Pro into Montana and into this region. And it was a very value-added product. It was something that no one else had, a different approach to feed supplementation. And it being a complete supplement that covers all your vitamin, mineral, trace minerals, your protein, the value of the distiller's grains and no molasses coming in, and then a powerful digestive aid that helps cattle get about 25% more digestible nutrients out of every bite. So that's started, he introduced that into the marketplace around 2006. 2007 we formed a family business, and rolling into one of the things on the Sweet Pro, though, is they said you always should have salt out on the side with it, because if there's the cattle are mining it for the salt value, it's an expensive salt lick.
Right.
So having salt out, there's some salt in Sweet Pro, but if they're mining that extra, then it's just an expensive salt lick. So that was kind of our program, our message was take your forage plus Sweet Pro, salt on the side, and that's a complete program for your cattle. And so that's kind of how we were rolling and had some phenomenal success right out of the gate there. 2007, 2008, 2009. My father-in-law was actually at a trade show with, and Redmond was represented. Redmond Natural Trace Mineral Salt had a rep there as well. And my father-in-law and that rep got to talking, and the Redmond rep really liked kind of our footprint of distribution, and my father-in-law was talking to him about, we say you should have salt out on the side of with the Sweet Pro. So anyway, I get a call, my brother-in-law Daryl and myself get a call from Irv, and he says, what do you guys think about marketing the Redmond salt? It would dovetail well into what we're doing. My response was, salt is salt is salt, salt's a commodity, and we're not a commodity company, so I don't want anything to do with it. So you see how much weight we carry in the company? So we're marketing this Redmond salt. And interesting though, the first phone call we got, the first semi-load that we sold was for soil application up in central Montana. And I was like, you want to do what with what? You're going to buy a semi-load of salt and put it on your hay ground. That's not going to be a great idea in my opinion. But if you want to buy a semi-load of salt, do whatever you want to with it. But so then I got on the phone with Redmond, the guys at Redmond, and said, either this guy's nuts or I'm missing something.
Right.
And they said, well, Scott, you're missing something. That's all. Okay, what am I missing? So they talked to me about the value of Redmond, and they gave me two different books to read. One is Sea Energy Agriculture by Dr. Maynard Murray, and he's kind of focused on actually the agricultural value of unrefined sea minerals. And the other book was by Dr. David Brownstein, which is Salt Your Way to Health, and talking about human health and the value of unrefined sea minerals or salt to the value of human health on every level, and the importance of salt. And so anyway, I got reading those books, and I've kind of gone all the way from salt to salt to salt to now I'm a salt snob. So I carry my little salt shaker around, get that out for you. So yeah, so I'm always salting my food with the real salt. So I'm a total believer in the value of what the Redmond salt is beyond just a commodity. So anyway, that kind of was where our introduction to Redmond was, and of course we were mainly using that on the livestock. That's what our company was all about. Mm-hmm. And how do we enhance the lives of our ranchers, and it's been something. And there's some articles that we've put on the website there of sea salt for cattle health and sea salt for horse health, and the value, basically taking some of those topics and putting those into some literature.
Sure. And so you said early on, like you had somebody call you and they wanted to put it. What kind of results did you see from that? And is there some information on the website about that? Yeah,
so that one we didn't. That was kind of early on. We just kind of rolled with that, and he did his deal. And I actually met him here just a few weeks ago at a soil health conference. So that was kind of fun to connect up with him and. Sure. And learn a little bit on that. But one of the things that we ended up doing that was so intriguing to me is the value of the sea minerals for soil health. And so we did some webinars early on, probably back in 2011, 2012, somewhere in there, and had some buddies back in northeastern Montana that I invited on the webinars. And one of the things that really intrigued him was there was a slide on one of those webinars that there was a field and a bunch of little white specks up on the side of the hill. And they said, well, what do you guys think those white specks are? Those look like birds. I said, oh yeah, okay, they're birds. Well, why are the birds up on the side of the hill? And I said, well, it's probably where the food is for them, your bugs and whatnot, so that they're eating those. And that's right, so why aren't they down in the field? And it's like, okay. Now they're getting us kind of interested, and especially my friend Gary Gackle. They were talking about grasshoppers. They actually eat plants with lower nutritional value, so they look for the weaker the plants and they eat those. And if there's a high enough Brix level or nutrient level density in the plants, I believe it's a pancreas that they don't have, that they're not able to process those sugars, and supposedly they explode and die and whatever. And my buddy Gary called me up and said, okay, I need some of that stuff, because if I can keep the grasshoppers off the wheat, and I also would love to see them explode if they get on there. Right. So anyway, he's all excited about that. So anyway, we did a trial on his place, and back in 2012, I believe it was. And what he did was he just did a strip up and back on a field, and he had 50 pounds of 1152, and put 85 pounds of urea on everything, and then up with 1152, and that was, at that time, kind of dating ourselves, that was $700 a ton at that particular time. And of course now that's with fertilizer costs, it's getting crazy amount more than that. You're probably over $1,000.
Thank you for watching, and join us for the next episode of Redmond for Soils, putting new life in old soil.